Okay, we're on the east side of the structure, and starting we're in front of the fence, and we can see that. See, builders get grading; they don't get drainage so much. But somebody, maybe your neighbor, maybe somebody had the foresight to install at least one surface drain to take water, presumably out to the street, someplace. Only one, really? This is pretty level all the way through here. We only have one. Okay. With some parch coat on our slab foundation. Kind of like a cake frosting. Just because this is cracked doesn't mean your foundation is cracked. And if it's not cracked, it doesn't mean your foundation is not cracked. We have weep holes. These are by design. Brick is a very good building material. Okay? This home could burn down. You could reuse the brick. It's a good insulator for sound and heat. But one characteristic of it is that it's porous, so we need these weep holes. We see that they put a little steel wool in there. You can do that to try to keep ants or roaches out. But even with one surface drain, the drainage over here just doesn't seem to be right. So we got vinyl pane, vinyl frame, double pane windows. These are weep holes, just like on the brick. These windows are designed to take water out. And these weeps have weirs in them. Those weirs keep the windows from whistling. They say, oh, it keeps the bugs out and stuff, I guess. But they will whistle like a flute. They'll play like a flute if the wind runs right. What have we got here? Oh, we're missing a weir. We're missing a weir right there. Also, these windows, when we have siding, not when the brick, but we should have Z-bar flashing. I get that we're up to the soffits. We have continuous soffit baffles. I get we're all the way up to the soffits. But we should have Z-bar flashing up there, which we do not have. Get that in my notes. No Z-bar flashing over the windows. Moving on along. Now right here, this is not a weep hole. This is a control joint. Some people call them expansion joints. Got a little bit of hole right in there. And they dry up every few years. They do. So you need to come around, but you're not going to have this much brick in North Texas, another control joint over there, without having some movement. So this controls the movement, just like we have control joints in the streets. We know it's going to move, so we want to control the cracking so that we don't have stair-step cracking, which I haven't seen any. Horizontal cracking, I haven't seen any. Vertical cracking, I haven't seen any. But we're not through looking. We're lookers. Coming on along. There's gable details on this roof. This screen up here, in some parts of the country, is frowned upon. But in this part of the country, it's required because we have birds. I mean, I know there's birds everywhere, but in some parts of the country, if you have, have a lake event, all right, it freezes up, it'll starve your furnace, and your furnace will die on the coldest day of the year, but that's not really going to happen here. We require screens because those birds will starve your furnace before anything. Those birds, Hillbilly Home Inspection. And we've got our butt joints on our siding over here. And it's very rarely that I ever see any flashing tape behind them. I can't really get up there and get a good look and tell you. I'm pretty sure there isn't, though. I'm pretty sure there isn't. I'm pretty sure it's kind of typical. If I could tell better, I'd write my report differently. The rain gutters do not discharge water far enough away. Now I get it. You get the rain gutter, it comes all the way out here to this level spot. People are tripping over it, the lawn people. Sometimes they put pins in them so the lawn people can take them off, mow your yard, put them back on like you think they will. Yeah, I mean, some people do. And then some people put them underground, and then they come up out of a little drain, kind of like that. And so they come out a little farther away. That's a nice feature. There's no perfect way, because then you got some piping that's underground that you can't really monitor. This is called a shrinkage crack. Some people call them corner pops. I can see why. Call it what you will. For different reasons, several different reasons, the brick and the concrete slab foundation expand and contract at different rates. And I can go all off into thermodynamics and the aging process and the curing process and all that. But they move differently. The stress comes out at the corners and we have some cracking right there. That is not a foundation problem. Okay, we're still going to look at the foundation. We're going to look at all different aspects of the foundation. But that is an aesthetic issue or a brick issue. It might be holding up a brick. And then sometimes the cracks can allow termites come up into the house detected. So it could be a termite issue. It might be a brick issue. That's not a foundation issue. It's very common. They all do it. A tree, termites. Where do termites live? In the ground. Okay. What do they eat? Dead wood. Okay. What's wood mulch? Dead wood on the ground next to your house. That's called a clue. That's called a clue. I get it. People like to decorate their yards. They like to use wood mulch. It's conducive, maybe by design, like a fence, because fences are conducive to wood destroying insects. Plumbing inside of your house. All these things we want. And some people want wood mulch. God bless them. But I have found, and it's been treated. No, it had. I mean, whatever. I've found plenty of termites in wood mulch. Every year, a couple times a year, it used to be 3 or 4. But, it's not unusual that on any given year, I'll just casually rake my foot over the wood mulch and find termites in it, which did not happen today. But I don't turn this whole thing over. This isn't even a termite inspection. This home's only 8 years old. It's kind of premature for a termite inspection, especially when it's so high and clean around it. So it's not my client's best dollar. It doesn't mean I don't like to talk about them, because I'm licensed to do that. I can talk about it. Some people, I can't say the T word. Okay, I can say it. A tree should not be placed closer than 25 feet to your foundation. The roots will suck out much needed moisture that keeps your foundation stable. Your roots will grow and cause your foundation to move. Your branches will grow into the roof and the rest of the structure and cause damage. Now, right now, I get it. This is a crepe myrtle. It's ornamental. I get that. But, how about this? Good home inspection. I'm doing fine, Lynn. Can I call you in like 10 minutes? Okay, bye. That was a client. Okay, but so a tree shouldn't be closer than 25 feet to the street. And then I will answer your phone calls too. I'm one of those home inspectors that answers their phone. That's who I am. I'm not going to leave my clients in the lurch. Okay, trees shouldn't be closer than 25 feet to the structure for the roots and the growth. And I get it. I see a tree in every yard. I see little ornamentals next to every house. It's probably a homeowners association thing. You might not even be able to move these trees. But I'm just letting you know. Moving along. I didn't find any termites. Nor was I here to look for them. Even if I was doing a termite inspection, I wouldn't do much more than this. Okay, we have a luminary that's hanging free here. Alright. We're going along. Looking pretty good. But I want to show you this. It's kind of a roof thing. But I'm not really going to have an opportunity, for the roof to show that to you the way I'd like to. And this is a good time. This is a pretty clean house. I'm not showing a lot. See the water that comes down that slope? See the water that comes down that slope? And see the water that comes down that slope? They all come to that point. All that water running off comes to that point. This house was designed that way. But I'm just saying that this design, all roofs leak. Okay? I'm not saying it's going to leak right there, but I'm saying that that's a problematic area. Okay? Might. It wouldn't surprise anybody. But anyway, it's called a dead valley. We've got weep holes over our lintel. Our lintel's starting to rust. When metal rusts, it expands. And when it expands, it's going to cause rust, it's going to cause cracking in the mortar on your soldier bricks going across the top of there. So we got to say, we have some lintel rust. And some of our luminaries, if this one's coming on, how come this one's not coming on? So some of our luminaries aren't illuminating. Moving on along. Rainwater doesn't divert water far enough away. We're going to talk about the condensing unit. We're going to talk about the plumbing. We've already talked about the condensing. Yeah, we're going to talk about the electric service panel. We're going to talk about all that. Now, here's another roof thing. While we're at it, is that the satellite dish should not be mounted directly to the roof cover. They all are. I get that. They all are. I'm sorry. And they're all installed wrong. Is anybody going to change it? I don't know. I just took mine off and then repaired my roof. You know. But that's up to you. It's up to you. It's not up to me. Moving on along. I don't know if you can see this really well, but this is the clothes dryer vent. Right there. Can I get the focus? I paid extra for this camera. Clothes dryer vent right there. It's clogged with lint. Clogged with lint. It needs to be cleaned out. Okay. You see a circle like this? Then you know it's post-tension cable slab foundation. Alright. So there's a couple different types of post-cable foundations. I don't know which one it is, but that just tells us that that's the type it is. It's very strong. That's the way we do it here. We found out that it works best in this part of the country, post-tension cables. So that's what that is, and it gives us a clue so that we kind of know what we're talking about. Here's the bedroom windows. See this piping right here? That's for your air conditioning system, your evaporator coil secondary drain line. When water starts coming out of that, when you look out the window and you see water dripping, you know that you call the technician and he comes and services your air conditioning equipment. Moving on along here, grading, drainage. See all the water over here? You know what we don't have on this side? They put a dam and they got sick of it. This gave it to you. You deal with it. Okay. Builders get grading, they don't get drainage. This is swampage. They'll say, well, if it doesn't dry in 48 hours, we consider that a problem. And the problem with that is that's not drainage, that's evaporation. This is swampage. What, West Nile disease? I mean, that is level. That is moss. This is mud. I get it, it's been raining this week. It's been raining this week, but still. Oh, but this is the exterior. So you'd like to find some wall problems, right? Okay. Come over here. I'm gonna call it core holes. I used to call them finger holes because that's how I carry the bricks. But we got an open core hole right there. Think water can get in there? I do. I think water will get right down in there. If it gets down in there, it's going to get into your wall. Sure will. Level grading and drainage. Rain gutters do not divert water far enough away. Now I'm going to jump way ahead here for a moment. It's going to save us a little bit on the back end. But this is the weather sensor for the lawn sprinkler system. It's not adjusted right. It's not adjusted right. Alright. I might repeat it since I couldn't straighten it. Okay, moving on along. I checked the back faucet, it works. And I'll put it back on my way back around. Now here we've got a gas port on your patio. Check with your gas grill manufacturer. You should put it out here. A lot of people find it more convenient to roll it around the corner, but you got it underneath this covered thing, and some manufacturers aren't real swift on that. Some manufacturers think that it's a bad idea. This is your soffit air intake vent. You're out here grilling fish and bacon, and the smoke goes up into your air intake vent and goes into your attic. The people come all over to your house and know you as the bacon fish people. Maybe you don't want that. Maybe the grill needs to go out there. I'd be real tempted to put it right here myself, but I don't always act right. I'm a hypocrite. What is that? Oh, it's a dirt dauber mast. Except those glued up there, no big deal. Coming on along. And this is about where we started.